Welcome back to Sapphire's Unscripted, episode 152. Another amazing weekend of rugby just finished. We just finished watching the Wallabies absolutely obliterate the Welsh. Yeah, but the South will feel pretty happy with their weekend. We're gonna run through all of the games, so don't worry about it. But let's start off first and foremost. Brevan, you're nearly done with your exams. One more to go. And so you obviously stressed, but Brett, end of the year, how are you feeling? You stressed, relaxed, waiting for holidays, or what's going on?
Who are you asking?
Brett.
Oh, thought you said Brevin first. No, I don't have holidays. When you're self-employed, you work 365 days of the year. You don't get holidays.
Fair enough. But Brevan's probably looking forward to just kicking up the feet for once. Man's been studying all year, tired as hell.
Oh man.
Crazy.
But anyways, it is what it is. Like I said, this is my escape, so I'm just glad to be back so I can talk some rugby instead of stupid psychology stuff. But
yeah. Anyway, we're gonna get right into it. We're starting off with our game. Played England, victors at the Alien Stadium, 29 points to 20. Up and down performance, in my opinion. We got the 9-point victory, but I wasn't overall happy. And I've seen people like other creators or just fans or whatever that create content about the game. They've previously said that they just don't like the South African fans because they just like all over you. They are crazy out there. And for the first time I've experienced it by saying I didn't understand the game plan. I've been getting threats all over the place. It's been crazy. I felt the wrath of the South African public, just like, trust Rassie. I was just like, I just said I didn't understand the game plan. And people have been on my back for it. But anyway, let me ask you guys what's your point.
If you said it the way you just said it, then maybe it would have been different. But the way you presented yourself in your rant video, I think that's what's getting the people riled up.
I mean, what was wrong?
It sounded like you wanted to rip Rassie a new one and tell him to stop coaching rugby forever because he's not going.
That's a lie, because I never said that.
I never said that. I'm saying that's what it came across as.
Yeah,
you were just angry.
I was angry. Are you not allowed to be angry? I mean, my point was, you see Freddie Stewart, Tommy Freeman, and Toe Roebuck, three of the best aerial guys, right? And our game plan in the first half is we're just going to bomb it on you. We're just going to put it on you with the smallest wingers chasing the ball while you have all the back. We saw how they got destroyed, right? This is literally, I posed it as a question even, like, how does it make sense? While you have one of the most destructive backlines that we have, you saw how they just got absolutely killed with the backline of the All Blacks and the Wallabies. Why did we implement the same thing? That was literally my question. But apparently you have to be a rugby expert or have won 2 World Cups or should be coaching the Springboks just to have an opinion or ask a question. So no, I didn't want to rip Rassie a new one. What are you even talking about? I literally posed that question, but people just get offended by anything.
I can't lie, South African fans are very sensitive, which is a good thing, because we're passionate. So we'll leave it at that. But I get you. Obviously, I think people need to realize, I mean, it's obviously the Springboks bring like this country together and stuff, but ultimately there are fans in this that follow the Springboks like us, for example. And I know your name is Casual Bias Rugby, but I wouldn't call you a casual because you know your stuff and Brett knows his stuff, right? And so we look at the game at a way deeper level than your average South African, for example. And there's a lot of us that do it, that don't even make content. And these are the guys that share their opinions and stuff, and the ones that are just there to watch and enjoy what the Springboks do for us. Obviously, they don't look at it as the way we do it. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, don't take it as a pinch of salt. I mean, that's what we do.
Yeah, I mean, I just laugh it off, right? Because at some points it's ridiculous. Like, I mean, always moaning. You're always moaning and crying about the performances. Just take the win. I'm just like, no, I don't just want to take the win.
I did, however, try and save you. At halftime, you posed the question to the three of us on our group chat. I gave you an exact reasoning as to why we're doing it and what will happen in the second half. And that's exactly what happened. And still you posted the video. And still you are unsure.
So tell us what you said in the voice note.
I said that South Africa, England, obviously throughout the week, they were saying that they selected these 184 meter and 193 meter tall players to go up against our Colbys and our Arendses because they're going to play the aerial game and they're going to try and eliminate us and get the front foot ball. And what I said was South Africa is going to do the exact same to them and just show that our small wings aren't going to be a walkover. And second half, we'll go back to the game plan that we played against the previous game. And that's exactly what happened.
Okay. Well,
casual. So
I was so looking forward to us finally playing some running rugby against England. We just never do it.
So this is what I saw, right? Obviously, we did start off with that game plan of putting bombs up in the air, and in my personal opinion, I think that first 25 minutes, Colby and Arendse were getting the better of Stewart, and you're thinking, okay, well, if this is working, why stop in a way? And obviously, then Stewart did start to find his groove in the air, and obviously Freeman, etc. And then, like Brett said, in the second half, things did change. But I think, looking at game plan aside, I personally think, right, and it's weird because obviously we're still winning games and we're still happy, etc. But we hold the Springboks to such a high standard at the moment that if you actually look at the way we played against Scotland and England, we might actually kind of be going through a dip in form, essentially. Like,
yes,
especially defensively, like we look terrible. And we are going through a bit of a dip in form. And the fact that we're still winning is great, but every team's going to have a dip in form. But we're just such a, and not to be an arrogant South African, but it's true. We're just so good at the moment that we can win games while being terrible.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah.
Of course, that doesn't go under the radar. Obviously, I'm very happy that we won the game, and it's not like we're scraping over the line, right? We still beat Scotland by, 17 points. We still beat England by 9 points. So obviously, I'm happy with the victory. I'm not criticizing us getting the victory or criticizing Rusty's coaching or his tactics. I just said that I didn't understand it, and it just didn't make any sense to me.
Which is fair. I mean, but I think Rusty is the guy he's the guy that says, if you want to bring that game plan, my team's good enough to match it. And I think he's the type. And I just think, I get you. I understand your point of view. It's just...
Let me rather put it like this to you, Brevan. So there was so much hype around us bringing in Tony Brown. I haven't really seen Tony Brown ball. Have we? Except for that one game against Argentina.
I think we've seen glimpses of it, and I think it might take a year to really settle. But
No. We've strictly seen it. You see, box kick, 3 attacking plays, box kick. You guys are talking now like every single ruck went for a box kick. Every single ruck, we kicked the ball away. That's not what happened. It was box kick, 3 phases of attack. Box kick, 3 phases of attack. Then Marnie kicked. So it was scrum off, attack, scrum off, attack, fly off.
Are you counting those just the normal forward carries as the attack? Because
No,
Damien Delinda and Jesse Creel...
Damien Delinda carried.
He hardly got the ball, Brett. In that first half, he hardly touched the ball. I can't even remember Jesse Creel touching the ball once.
No, but you said you haven't seen Tony Brown. I'm talking about since Tony Brown has been our coach.
Oh yeah, we've seen. I'm talking about strictly yesterday. Yesterday.
Sorry. Okay, then sorry. I thought you were talking about the whole.
No. Of course, no. We have seen some Tony Brown proper Tony Brown ball. I'm just talking about with all that hype and stuff. I thought playing against England, seeing how they got dismantled with the attack of the Wallabies and the All Blacks, would have been the perfect time to show us this is Tony Brown ball as well. You know, I was really excited for it. Obviously, we won the game, so I'm not going to criticize it too much.
Yeah, South Africa did, however, could have won that game by more than 20 points.
Yeah, I think 100%. And also, we could have lost that game. I mean, and the reason I say that is because, like, stupid things from England, like Stewart kicking the ball away with a minute and a half to go, and they need a score. Luke Cowan-Dickey, we have literally just given away a penalty and a line-out. We have literally lost Gerard Steenekamp to a line-out infringement. And literally, he does this, like, why? Like, you are throwing basic opportunities in the dustbin. Like, but anyways, I think what brought us over the line yesterday is obviously having the best player in the world, Cheslin Colby, or if you want to say second best. It depends on whoever. If you appreciate forwards, it's Peter Steff. If you appreciate Colby, it's Colby. And yes, Dupont, cool, whatever. I don't care. That man is special.
Dupont got schooled yesterday, so we are happy.
Look, Cheslin Colby, I even said on the group, like, Soma, send that man to the king that night and let him knight him, because I don't know how he does it. I don't understand. I think we won the game based on a lot of individual, just brilliant performances. I think Athia was phenomenal in that starting lineup. Colby, Grant Williams, for goodness sake, I think we just learned that he is our starting scrummer.
He made Freddie Stewart do the chicken dance.
His box kicks are great. His attacking play is great. He's not so slow at the breakdown. I mean, he snipes at the ruck just like Quibus does. I think that combo is sensational, having Quibus come off the bench. So, yeah, I think there were... I just think the negative of yesterday for me, whatever the strategy was, I think Rassi did what he needed to do. I just think the defense was a bit shit. Like, well, not a bit. It was quite terrible. Like, yeah. That's just my only, like, real negative about yesterday.
I agree with the defense part. That did throw me off a bit, because we normally pride ourselves, even if our defensive structures aren't in play, we don't fall off tackles like we did. That also got me a bit. But one rule in rugby that I'm really, really enjoying is that you can't block the scrum off from going for a box kick anymore. I'm enjoying that rule. If there's a blocker, it's obstruction, straight penalty. And our tall boys are charging down like it's nobody's business. After those charge downs, the box kicks went haywire. They went all over the place. There was no more precision because it was now extremely rushed. So I really like that.
And Andrew Brace was very quick to use it. He was extremely quick for anything at the breakdown. Those turnover balls that they got, I mean, he was so quick to call any holding or whatever, even if the tackler didn't even release. He was shafting everything at the breakdown. He was very whistle-friendly when it came to those things. But Jack van Poortvliet, I mean, that guy's going to have nightmares about Ebenezer. It is. And have you ever seen a try with two charge downs? Ebenezer charges him down, and then Peter Steff charges down Marcus Smith. That ball just refused to go out. It could have bounced in. It was on the line, just didn't go out. And Peter Steff to tackle goes over the line. Absolutely beautiful. But I wanted to go on a point what you said, Brevan. It's not a lot of times that you watch a game with Eben Etzebeth playing and you are screaming for, if there is a sub, for Eben to go off because it's Ergis Snyman playing so well. I was like, if they have to take off a lock and they want to move Peter Steff, you are taking off Eben. Because Ergis Snyman, he was the most creative player on the field. That guy has got rugby league offloads everywhere. It is sensational.
Yeah, I think rugby league learns from him.
Could be.
Yeah. That man is special, like, genuinely. I think that's probably, if I had to, sorry to make this about the Bulls, it's just an example, but, like, if I had to be really heartbroken about a player that left the Bulls, it's Athia. I mean, he is just, since he came up with the Bulls, like, I just loved him. And when he made that debut against England, just from there, you knew what a player he was. And obviously, Rassi's turned him into this, I don't know, just something freak of nature. So, yeah.
The thing is, think about this. When you were I don't know so much about casual, but Brevan, you that's always been a tall oak. Like when you were in primary school and you played with...
You're calling me short.
I don't know when you shot up. When you...
I've always been tall. Always been tall.
Okay, so then, like when you played with younger kids, don't you think that's how Ergif feels now?
No, but casual. You know what he's saying. Stop this nonsense. You absolute Greek. Yeah.
What? What did I say now?
No. He's just being a chop. That's what he's being. Carry on.
I don't know. I'm thrown off. I don't know what I want to say.
You was talking about how tall you were when you were younger. Did that ever affect? What did you say, Brett?
Like the way you look at opposition.
I see what I did. When you're a
Go on.
kid and you play with other kids
Yes.
that are the same age as you but shorter than you,
Yes.
so this doesn't become a flag because some people can't flip and get their minds out of the gutters. That you felt more superior and you could do your offloads and stuff like that. I felt like my story is completely irrelevant now.
I get you.
Just move on.
I get you. Like, just to touch base on that, like I think you find those players who just find it easy, like in what they do, and I think no matter what you try and do to stop Archie from offloading, it's like you can't. It's almost like Sonny Bill Williams in a sense. Like he always managed to get that offload away, and with Archie it's the same. And his carrying was strong, which is a positive. And I think he just had a phenomenal game. But now, just to bring up a question, do you now consider him as a starter, or do you just say no? Your place is the bench. It's just
whatever they want to do. Whether it's Ruan Orkia, Archie Sleiman, or Franco Mostert, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. All three of them bring something totally different. One of them will play. One of them will be on the bench, and they'll have their roles. It doesn't matter to me which one of those starts the game.
For me, I feel like Archie should have by now cemented his spot as a starter. That lock combo was on a whole nother level. Yeben also played very well. It's almost as if his game's been amplified now with Archie being that good. Like, don't try and take my shine. I'm the best lock in South Africa. And it's working. It's working. Yeah. And I feel like this is also a perfect opportunity for Franco to be a bench player because he can play 7, can play lock, and also brings a lot of energy. And also on Kwagga Smith, he will never, ever, ever start a test match again. If you compare the Scotland test and the England test. When he came off the bench, he was the Kwagga that we needed against Scotland.
It's just so weird, eh? Like,
it's so weird.
Thing. Breaks my brain.
It comes off, but it's true. Like, I've seen it myself. There are just some players who just play better off the bench, and it's just like I feel like they get a feel for the game, so they understand where they need to impact the game. And I just think Kwagga reads a game from the side so well. He knows what his role is, and he knows where to attack situations, like how to win a contest at the breakdown. Like just as he's such an intelligent player in that sense. So yeah,
I want to put some praise on one player before we move on, and he didn't play the longest time. And we just spoke about Kwagga, but someone who I thought was exceptional during this game was Jasper Wiese. I thought
I forgot about him. Yeah, absolutely.
He was so good. He was everywhere. He was an absolute monster with his game. Sorry?
From minute 20.
No.
When he stole that first ball, that's the first time I saw him, and then I couldn't unsee him.
He was everywhere. He was a monster all over the pitch. But anyway, that brings us to the end of South Africa and England. I just
No, it doesn't. Quick one. Guys, Oxen Chair, injury. That's a major concern.
It is a concern. Yeah, I don't know what the situation is. Obviously, they'll give us an update whenever they're ready. But I heard, obviously, people all have their, I don't know, inside sources somewhere, whether it's us or people on other platforms or whatever. But apparently, it's just a cut, and I hope that's the case. But if it is something serious, with the way he was walking, that's not ideal because he's been the best prop in the world this year. So.
Yeah, but we did manage to see Vincent Koch on the other side, as Brett said he wants to see.
He was also a menace off the bench. My word, like he was a menace.
So maybe next weekend we finally get to see Thomas Dutoy maybe starting and Volko Low coming off the bench. Two very formed players. Playing with Vincent Koch going into that one jersey, possibly. That would be sexy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I just
I
want
want
to add to the ox and chair thing. Before he got injured, I felt like he was busy playing his worst game in a Bok jersey.
Yeah.
defensively
It was
all over.
quite poor.
Yeah, obviously the 2 scrum penalties, that was both on him. Like, he couldn't find his grip. That's weird. And 3 missed tackles in a row. Like, in a row. Yo.
Yeah. George Martin that made the line break and Underhill that scored the try, both Oxenchair.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I saw someone saying in my comment section of the rant, don't you think he missed the tackles because he was injured? Well, you tackle with your arms, right? Not with your fucking leg.
Yeah, look, I think no coach will ever tell you, "Oh, it's okay, you missed a tackle because you were injured." Like, I can tell you now, that will never happen.
Exactly.
So
Anyway, let's move on. We had another belter Saturday night. We'll speak about the Friday night in a moment, but this was a great game, and this made me even more angry at France. France victors over New Zealand, 29 points to 30, and I'm so boiling at France because they are taking away from us for next year. Imagine if we had 2 or 3 more games of like this one next year, going alongside a British and Irish Lions tour.
Yeah, they didn't play
How
on
good would
Friday.
that have been? Hey?
They didn't play on Friday.
I said we'll speak about the Friday game in a second. I want to speak about this
and
one
then
first.
you started with this. I assumed you meant this game. Okay, yes, sorry. Carry on. As you were.
Yeah, we're basically done. I was like, imagine if we had 3 more games of this on a tour to New Zealand while we have the British and Irish Lions taking on the Wallabies. This was a beautiful game of rugby. I loved it. I loved it. I know there's a couple of ref incidences. I don't care. I just
always will
enjoyed the
be.
game
Always will be.
as a neutral. Oh, it was great. It was really great.
It was,
Right?
and I loved seeing Ardy Savia not run over DuPont. He ran right through DuPont. And there's DuPont lying on the ground like this is the best player in the world, but he can't make a tackle. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah. How good was Cam Roygard? I thought New Zealand lost the game when they took off Cam Roygard on like 58 minutes or 60 minutes or whatever it was. Why did they take him off that early? That made no sense. He was running the game.
I think it was that niggle in the first half when he started limping and holding his knee. I think that played an impact because when he walked off, he looked fine. But I think it had something to do with that. Because remember when he scored the try, he cheered and everything, and then he held his knee. I think there might be a little precaution, maybe.
Yeah, because you know what? It gave me the same vibes as when Marcus Smith got taken out of the game for George Ford when they played against New Zealand. When you have the guy literally running the game and you take him off the field, it's just like, what are we doing? Obviously, Ratama is a great 9, but Roygard was... That was the performance of like the same as Aaron Smith did to DuPont in the World Cup. It's like you can just see the one's just clearly getting the better of the other one in this game. Brevin, did you manage to watch this game?
I did. And yeah, like you said, great game of rugby. And yeah, I think ultimately that game could have gone either way. Literally 1 point, and it could have just gone either way. But like, how I don't want to pronounce his name wrong, but I probably will. I even had to Google it because I need to check the pronunciation properly. But the France winger, I think it's the left wing, Bial Biari, or however you say it. He's got the red scrum cap on.
Yeah.
How quick is he?
He is so fast.
He's so fast.
I was like, this man is like Olympic sprinter fast. Like, it's ridiculous. They literally just had to put a kick in behind, like in the distance, if there's no fullback in place. And this man was just like, okay, well, it's try time for me, champ.
It's exactly,
You can have your head start.
exactly what they did. Because Adi Savea is no slouch. He can easily play in the back line, Adi Savea, because he's quite quick. Louis Bilberet absolutely gassed him, and Anton Lennon Brown like it was nothing. Nothing.
So
He's got proper gas.
Yeah.
Guys, now that you talk about Sevilla, quickly you got to just change off this topic. The two Sevilla brothers have scored 87 tries combined for the All Blacks.
Damn.
That is crazy.
Yeah, imagine that. Your surname is Sevilla and you've scored like 10% of all the All Blacks tries in history. That is pretty cool.
Cheapers, yeah.
But that just tells you how good Julian Sevilla was, because he didn't play for that long.
Yeah.
He was just a try-scoring machine all over the place.
Yeah.
What was his record even? Does anyone know? Was he close to a try per game?
I think it was 44-44. Check quickly, Brevan. I think it was 44-44.
Oh my goodness, because that means he's got a better record or strike rate than even Will Jordan. And Will Jordan's strike rate has to be up there with the best ever.
I think Jordan has more tries than games.
Oh, okay.
Give me a sec. New Zealand.
But yeah, anyway, while he's looking that up, I think he's got more than 50 caps actually, Sevilla. Now that I think about it.
54 caps. He has 54 caps and 46 tries.
Yeah, that's great. That's a
striker.
flipping good
That's
strike.
very good.
That's
Yeah,
great.
but anyway.
I think it was 44-44 at one stage.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, okay. But boys, this really was a great game. I really enjoyed this game, and as I said, it just makes me even more angry that we don't get 2 more or 3 more of these when it comes to 2025, when they are supposed to be touring down south. Because something about the French, right? We speak about them being the team that kicks the most. Everyone brings the best out of the French, and the French brings out the best of everyone. Like, it's always a great game when South Africa plays them, or New Zealand plays them, or Ireland plays them. It's just something about the French that their games are always so watchable at international level. It's ridiculous. Like, I'm glued to the TV while I watch it. Obviously, the cameraman.
What is the actual reason for Jolly Bear not wanting to play against the All Blacks?
That's not what I heard. I heard he wasn't picked, and he got angry that he wasn't picked as the starting 9, and then he decided to go back to top 14.
No, every article I read is he said he's refusing to play against the All Blacks, and he wants to go play club rugby.
Oh, okay.
Even the commentators said they were shocked. Even the commentators said they were shocked that he refused to play against an iconic team like the All Blacks.
France star refuses to feature against All Blacks as Fabian Gaethje addresses shock revelation. He turned down the opportunity to be picked as a reserve for the All Blacks encounter. Fabian Gaethje has confirmed.
Okay, so it depends how you look into it, because he either refused to play against them or refused to be a reserve, and then
I can tell you now, if that was Rassie, that man will never touch a Springbok jersey
Never
again. Never again.
And
I would be the same. You have the opportunity to sit on the bench for your country. I don't care if you get 1 minute. I couldn't care less. I don't care if you've done it 200 times. That is something you take pride in. And the fact that you've refused because you want to go and play club rugby because you'll start, that tells me you're arrogant. It tells me you don't care about your teammates. It tells me everything I need to know. You can go and don't need you in the team. End of story.
Well,
don't care how good you are.
To be fair, Tomo Ramos has been very good since he's taken over that 10 jersey anyway. So, I mean, is it really that big of a loss?
He wasn't going to be 10 anyway.
I know, but I'm saying Tomo Ramos. Jellybird used to play 10, right?
Yes.
But Tomo Ramos, since he's taken over that 10 jersey.
Yeah, but I'm saying because of the injury to Intermark. Yeah.
That's what I'm just saying. Tomo Ramos has been that good at 10 jersey that they don't even miss Jellybird at all. Anyway, let's move on. Ireland versus Argentina. Ireland nearly slipping up once again, but they got it done, 22 points to 19. Brett, you called the upset. It looked likely at the end. Where was the knock?
Do you know what made it? But do you know what made it very, very, like, where I wanted to pull my hair out? That didn't even go noticed. Argentina gave a cross kick. Ball bounced in the try line area, and James Lowe literally shouldered the
I
When,
remember this. Yes.
like we shouldered him into another dimension where he would have just fallen on the ball. Nothing came from that. Nobody saw it. Nobody, and I'm shouting at the TV like a headless chicken, and there wasn't even a mention of it. That at least should have been a penalty try.
But like, I think this is such a it happens so much these days in rugby, right? Like if you're the home team, obviously the broadcaster comes from your country, they give you the camera views, etc., etc., etc. And I feel like these guys will never, ever, ever, ever show any kind of slightly like negotiable thing on a replay. Like for instance, when Pollard got the headshot against Scotland, that was not shown. All of these things, not just that. I'm not trying to just bring South Africa into this. It happens to every team. Like,
But it
if they
happened
play
yesterday
away.
as well, Brevan.
It does happen, you know. And it's just like, at what point? But anyways, it is what it is. But looking past that, I think Argentina can be like super proud. I think if they can just find a way to become consistent. I keep saying this for every team, but like I genuinely think Argentina is like a top 4 team in the world. If they can be super
on their
consistent, but like obviously you look at the results against Italy. Yes, it's Italy, but it wasn't the Argentinian strongest team. Then they've beaten us. Yes, again caveats on that, but they did beat us. They beat New Zealand. They beat Australia. Who did the
They've had
Argentines
a
have next?
great year.
They beat France.
They did beat France, yeah. But like all I'm trying to say is like when they are on their day, like they just play some great rugby and they will never give up. Like there is no giving up in their brains at all, no matter how far down they are.
Yeah.
So
that's the thing, right? They should have been dead and buried
Okay.
after that first half. If Tide Burn doesn't knock that ball over the try line, Argentina is probably out of the game, right? Because then it would have been what, like 24-9 or something like that going into halftime, and then it's a really, really tight game coming back from that. But then they come out in the second half, they score a beautiful try, and then all of a sudden it's game on. And 5 meters out, right at the death, I don't know where that knock on was. I didn't see a knock on. I just saw a whistle being blown with no replay.
The ball did roll forward, right? But now I still don't see where the hand came from, if that makes sense. Because everyone's I personally think it came off a knee. I didn't see a knock on. I saw maybe coming off a knee. But yeah, that's just it is what it is.
I don't think you see knock-ons because in the Springbok game you also didn't see that knock-on
from Ben Earl.
Yes.
And they didn't replay it. They didn't show us the replay. It was the most blatant knock-on in the world.
So I wasn't like. So the way I saw it, right? So obviously I need to watch it again just to explain my point of view. The way I thought it was backwards was when, obviously, I think it came off the back of a line-out. Sia Khaleesi crunches Ben Earl, and because the ball's going backwards, or he's going backwards, I kind of like saw it that way. I didn't get to see it again. I didn't rewind. I didn't. Yeah, I know, but I didn't rewind it to check again. So look, I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying that's what I saw first.
Yeah. So you got smashed and dropped the ball, and as he dropped the ball, he hit the ground and he scooped it back.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it was the most blatant, and then they go on and score from it, and I was just like, okay, well, this is definitely summing up this game already within 3 minutes of the game. That's how you sum this game up already. And I know it should have been a yellow for Gerard Steenekamp, but I was like, why am I not even getting a replay when there's been a yellow card given? They didn't even show us a replay of what Gerard Steenekamp did to be sent off when he got sent off. So
they didn't need to. It was literally just offside penalty.
Because we had so many warnings, it was just like
I
thought it was for ball sacking.
No, it was it was just for offside. He went to Sia. He said the very next penalty, the guy's going into the bin. And literally, it was just offside. And he said, offside, yellow card, too many penalties. Bye, Felicia.
Our Mole defense was terrible, to be fair. Like, we deserved to get a yellow there. Anyway, but yeah, so Ireland scraping over the line at the Viva. Scotland butchered Portugal. Not really going to talk about that one. Let's go on to today's game. Wales absolutely obliterating.
No,
Australia obliterating Wales at the Principality.
11 in a row.
Yeah,
The only Welsh player on the field really was Jack Morgan. It's the only guy.
that fullback was also good. What's his name?
Cam Winnett.
I thought he was good.
Yeah,
He tried.
Okay. Well, he did the same chicken dance as Freddie Stewart with Lenny Kitao.
Oh, your Grant seriously steps to it. It was rough. I went mental actually. It was like proper. But
It looked like it was slow.
Are the Wallabies back?
you can't. I don't care if you're Japan. You can't take any confidence taking or beating Wales. Like,
Okay, well they beat England as well.
Can they
beat Ireland? Can they do the sweep?
I think they're beating Ireland, but we'll get into that next week with that episode. But and my reasoning is the same as for the Argentinian game, because they beat Wales, but this was the first time that I've seen this Australian side that they gelled from minute one. Even against England, it took them 19 to 25 minutes to actually get into the groove. This was from the start. This is a very dangerous Wallaby side, and I think I don't think Sarevi needs to start against Ireland. I think they must put Swahili at 12 against Bundiaki.
I don't even think doesn't he have a red now?
Yeah, he does have a red. Say suspended.
So he won't even play.
Yeah, that was a bad tackle. That was terrible. That was a terrible tackle.
But like to touch on your point, casual, like Brett said, this is a dangerous Wallabies team. I think I can't lie, they have impressed me. I'm not gonna not give them their flowers. They've definitely improved from the last time we saw them in the Rugby Championship. And yeah, for goodness sake, if they can put up just a good game against Ireland, I'll happily say I think they have a good future ahead of them. Like, even if they lose and it's by like 5 or odd points, whatever, I genuinely think that, not that they'll be happy, but they'll look at that and say, well, against South Africa, we were losing against their B team at home, and now we are going at the Viva and putting a fight up against Ireland's strongest team. They'll definitely take any kind of confidence. And yeah, like you said, they have players in that team that are lethal. I mean, Valentine, Angus Bell,
Tom Wright once again.
Tom Wright.
How excited does this make you guys for the British and Irish Lions tour for next?
It makes it a lot better. Yes.
Yeah, 5 months ago, I thought it's going to be a clean sweep, not even going to bother. Now, Australia, they did well in getting Swahili's signature, firstly. Angus Bell is probably very close to Oxen Chair level of brilliance in that loose head jersey. I'm very, very excited for this team. Only thing I would change is Tate McDermott needs to start more.
Yeah. How good was he when he came on today? You know what impressed me the most? Sorry, Brevan.
No, I'm just saying, Nick White's becoming that guy that you just like, is this guy in the team again? Like, seriously? Yeah.
You know what impressed me the most is like the Australians looked like they could have played another 80 minutes after this game. The pace that they had in the game and their fitness level was insane. Like, Wales looked out on their feet. They just couldn't hold on. Then they imagine being out on your feet, and then the Wallabies bring on Tate McDermott to speed up the game, and then Will Skelton runs out onto the field. That's like 300 kilograms of human being that you have to try and defend with a tired body right now. It is scary how good they were at the end, and they just carved open Wales. And I'm going to go out on a limb and not say even Wales were that dreadful. I just think Australia was that good. Their attacking moves from the back in the back line was so clinical. It just opened up Wales like they weren't even there. Lenny Kitao, he is amazing. He's up there with one of the best centers in the world currently. He's just running the show like it's absolutely nothing. And then the combination work between Lolosio, Andrew Kellaway, and Tom Wright. For some reason, those three guys always find each other next to each other. It is so beautiful to watch. They are playing some of the best rugby that I've seen. It is glorious to watch. In terms of attacking, running rugby, it's up there. And all of a sudden, from Australia being one of the worst teams, they could actually do a sweep with the way that Ireland's playing at the moment. You look at New Zealand, people were talking about them losing 3 in a row. They just about lost 1. Should have probably won and then won 3 in a row. Southern Hemisphere running riot.
I really, really, really want to get a jar for the Irish tears if Australia beats Ireland next week. Oh, I can't think of
They
anything.
put in 3 stinkers in a row. They don't
Sorry?
put in 3. They don't put in three stinkers in a row, do they?
The thing is, I don't think it's so much as to how good Australia is playing. I think the way that Ireland's falling off, if they select another flippin' veteran team like they have been selecting, I can't see a way out for them. I can't see them keeping up with the pace of that Australian side. I honestly can't.
Brett, I actually want to ask your opinion quickly. I was actually impressed by Sam Prendergast when he came on. I haven't been impressed with him at Leinster, but I thought he controlled the game very nicely for a young guy coming on, making his debut for Ireland. Like Jack Riley looked like Dan Carter in that first half, and then he dropped off, but Sam Prendergast fitted in really nicely.
I was just about to say that was probably Crowley's best game for the year, URC and international included, until the second half. Until minute about 40, 48, when it started going pear-shaped for him, when he actually looked slower. But anyway, and then, yes, I do agree. Prendergast I think that was a good time to bring him on, because if Crowley stayed on for another 10 minutes after that, I think that was Ireland. Ireland would have lost that game.
Yeah. Brevan, any final thoughts on this weekend before we wrap it up? Anything?
Nah. I think we've covered it all.
Georgia put in a good performance against Italy, leading in the first half. But yeah, and then obviously Italy just coming back in the end, scoring 2 tries in the second half to win that game, which is obviously.
I got 2.5 points on SUPERBRU for that game. Thank you.
Did you?
Nice.
People, do remember to like and subscribe. Do remember to join our SUPERBRU. Maybe next year, Autumn Nations, Brevan will join. But he has been locked out. The link doesn't work on his phone. He's got load shedding out there. It's just not working. Anyway, have a good one, everyone. And we will see you on Wednesday. Bye-bye.